also got a lot more choices, and this is sort of one of the core values of Blizzard RTS games that has developed over the many, many years they've been under construction. In the original Starcraft, you had some very basic choices. How you wanted to complete a mission was up to you, and in many cases, each mission had multiple ways to beat the mission. But there wasn't a lot of choice in how you got to that mission. You had to play one mission followed by the next mission. In Warcraft 3, there were a lot of side quests that you could choose which quest you wanted to complete. In addition, you could choose, which equipment you wanted for your character, which sort of upgrades you wanted your hero to take into the next battle. Well, in Starcraft 2, you can choose which mission you want to go on. You can choose the types of technologies you want to get. You can choose which subplots you want to follow. You can choose which research you want to complete. So just a lot more choices for the player, further enhancing the same kinds of basic sort of core gameplay values that this studio has had since the original Starcraft. And we're also continuing the same kind of gameplay philosophy and design from Starcraft, and has really developed to a razor edge in Warcraft 3 by trying to make sure that each mission is its very own unique minigame with its own special challenges that really force you to think creatively and stretch your abilities as a commander to deal with each new threat. So now I'm going to turn it over to Matt, and he's going to talk a little bit about some of the missions we're developing for StarCraft 2 and give you some insight into the tools that we use to make these missions a reality.
All right, hello everyone. The mission you see before you is a mission we call Mind Your Own Business. The way this starts off is there's a person named Tosh that calls Raynor. This is the first time the players are actually going to see this character, and he's calling up Raynor, and he's basically saying, hey, I have a contract, but I'm having a really hard time. It's down on this planet called Redstone, and the reason why it's a really hard thing for him to do is it's a volcanic planet. There's lots of lava, the ground is constantly shaking, the environment's actually changing, and this just wouldn't be a StarCraft universe if there wasn't Zerg. And so there's Zerg on the planet just making it really hard for Tosh, and so he needs Raynor's help. And so this kind of leads into what Mike was saying as far as each game, each mission is a little unique and different. This is not a build up a huge army and kind of stomp. This is, in order for the player to win, he needs to save up a certain amount of resources. So the player's going to come down here, and he's got to get down onto these low ground areas where all the minerals are. He's going to have to move his base around. He's going to have to buy some SCVs, but he's got to ultimately harvest 5,000 minerals. Now, some of the choices that we kind of put into the mission, which Dustin was talking about, is how much SCVs should he buy? Should he build defensive structures? Does he need to build troops? Does he, these are the kind of decisions we want you to make, because the Zerg are there, and it's a real reality that you need to defend or you're going to be in trouble. And we're always trying to raise the bar. So one of the things that we try to add to this mission that's a little bit different is we actually have lava that kind of comes up on the low ground. So periodically, you're going to start seeing the lava rise, and now the player is going to be left with a choice of like, oh my gosh, when do I get to high ground? Should I leave now, or should I wait for the last minute and try to get some more minerals? And so ultimately, we want you to play chicken with the environment. And now I'm going to take you into the editor side and kind of show you what we did to create this hostile environment. And what you see before us is, there's the two different cliff types here. You got your man-made, which is like the reinforced concrete. You have the natural cliffs. You can kind of see on the right there, it's real red. Basically, what I want to show you with this is not something the artists have given us these art assets and they're just plunking down. Once you get a hold of the editor, you could go ahead and open this up, and you can start spraying around, and you can start making your own environments, and you can start, just creating your own little alien world that your friends could play on Battle.net. The other thing I want to talk about, what we did with this particular mission that we didn't have in our previous game, which is our water editing tool. And the exciting thing about this is the water is no longer locked to the cliff level, and so each person can kind of go in there and create his own water fields, and on top of that, he could create multiple. And this is what we did for this mission so that we could actually have the lava coming up and down. We think this is going to be a great tool for the mod community to kind of play with, and we're really excited to see what you guys could do with it. The other thing that is new to the StarCraft 2 editor is our lighting editor. And this is kind of what really sets off this alien world, the look, the vibe, and everything that you kind of see. And just like the water editor tool, you could kind of create custom light. This isn't something that's baked into the tile set that's determined by the artist. This is something that's up to you. You could go ahead and create crazy color worlds you want, and you could call it in-game. You could just transition between the two. And so here you go. Here's a little video of the mission.